Welcome to Don't Be a Basic Biscuit, a real estate marketing podcast where we talk about what it takes to stand out in today's real estate world. I'm your host, Harveer Singh, and you can find me on all social platforms under the handle Real Estate Singh. Now let's get the show on the road. Hello guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 2 of Don't Be a Basic Biscuit. Thanks for coming back and listening to more. Today, what we're going to be talking about is building a brand. Honestly, building a brand is probably one of the most important things that I did that has helped me establish myself and made me one of the most recognizable realtors in my area. My brand revolved around a belief. If you dream anything and act upon it, you could achieve anything, right? So I had taken that belief and really created a whole brand around it and made it so that anytime you thought of that, you thought of me. You'll see my logo on the cover of the podcast. How I came up with that was during the quarantine, I decided that I needed to do something in order to ensure that I had business waiting for me once the pandemic subsided, right? I was like, all right, what am I going to do? Because right now we can't show any properties. We can't do anything. What am I going to be doing so that once this ends, I'm going to have a boatload of business just waiting for me? All right, I need to get my face out there. And so what I literally did was come up a way to get my face out there. So I created a logo of my face, right, as like a black and white image. And I put an inspirational quote on there and put my Instagram handle as well. I do a lot of my business through Instagram, which is why, marketing and social media is so important to me. And that's why I'm doing this podcast. In the glasses portion, because I wear glasses, I wrote dream big, dare to do, right? Again, kind of simple and easy to remember, and also something that is an important value of mine. And so I started sticking that around kind of my city. It's a bit of guerrilla marketing that worked for me, and I do not suggest it for everyone. I took a risk there. And I also gave the stickers out to other people. I created pins. I created keychains. I created everything that I could. I put it all over my social media, and it really, really took off. People started recognizing me as the realtor that has that sticker. And you're like, oh, you're that guy with the sticker. Oh, I've seen your sticker before, blah, blah, blah. And so then that has kind of helped create a persona of mine. Unfortunately, one of the things is that because I did this, I now can't change my glasses. So that kind of sucks. But so for the rest of my life, I'm going to have to wear these same glasses. Otherwise, people won't know who the hell I am. But it was probably one of the most important things that I have definitely done in real estate to get myself out there in my area. And definitely when I say that it's resulted in me becoming one of the most recognizable realtors in the area, that's not a lie. Now, you guys might be saying, hey, Harveer, okay, great. You have this look that's a little different from other people, right? I have a beanie, I have a beard, I have these big glasses, a big nose. But that's not what you need to build a brand. A brand doesn't mean it's your look, right? A lot of people have a brand that has nothing to do with a look. So you think of Emerald, the chef, and his whole brand revolves around BAM, the word BAM. Literally, his whole brand revolves around a word. And that worked for him, and people remember it. There's Guy Fieri, right? He's another one who has his whole midlife crisis brand going on, and he has the hair and the glasses and the shirt and everything, and that's a way that he dressed. You got Simon Cowell, who basically has an attitude, right? And that attitude, that sassiness is his brand. Now let's jump into the salesperson realm. One of the realtors that I know, just growing up, her name is Margot Boland, and she was a realtor in the area that I grew up, and everybody knew her. She was probably one of the first celebrity realtors that I knew of. And if you were talking about real estate, and you were like, oh, I know Margot. What she did was she created a brand, and she used the saying, simply the best. It wasn't only a saying, it was also the way that she handled herself, the professionalism that she brought to a transaction, all of her branding. She was in a suit and, had this image of this successful and perfect realtor that if you didn't use her, you weren't going to get the top dollar on your property. And that's another type of brand that she built. Today, what we're going to be talking about, how is it that you could build a brand around yourself, right? Having this brand allows you to leverage something that is completely your own to gain more attention and be recognized by that brand. So the first thing you really got to do is analyze yourself. What is the most important values that you hold close to yourself? Think about what's important to you and what image do you want to portray to everyone else out there. Once you do that, right? So for me, it was, if you have a dream, you could achieve it, right? But all of you have to, find your own value that's important. Like Margot Bolan, simply the best. I actually know the other realtors who don't even use any of that. They use color. So I know this agent, April, and her whole brand is hot pink. So she's the hot pink girl and the hot pink realtor, and she does an amazing job with all her branding. It's all hot pink. She always wears hot pink, and you know who she is because she wears the hot pink, right? So think about it. It doesn't have to be just a saying, but the whole point is that whatever you come up with is going to be what people think of you as. The reason why I'm bringing up all these different examples is because I want you to really take a serious look into yourself. Like, are you a funny person? Are you a serious person? Are you a professional person? I want you to really find a way to build a brand around that personality. That will be what is called your brand voice. Make sure that you identify your target market. So what does that mean? All right, yeah, Harveer, they're just people looking to buy a house, but also like, where are they looking to buy a house? Or whatever, what type of client are you specifically looking for? Do some research on them and try to build your brand a little bit around them as well. Then what you need to start creating is, your logo. Is there a slogan that's going to go with it, right? What look is your logo going to be? And what I would say is, get a professional if you can, right? I had a professional create my logo, and, I would suggest the same for you. When you're doing these things, you want to have it done the right way. So you could create a logo that is just your signature with a saying. It could be your body, right? It could just be you and, the color of your clothing. Right? So kind of think about the logo and what you want it to look like. Think about it, right? It could be anything, honestly, but it should be catchy and something that you could use over and over and over again on all of your marketing materials. Once you have your brand built, make sure that you consistently use it across all platforms, right? Not only on your social media, not only on your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc., your LinkedIn, but also with your postcards. And if you have any billboards or anything, make sure that you use this brand across everything, in your email signature even, because you want, anytime somebody thinks of you, you want them to also think of your brand. So make sure that you push it out there consistently across the board. And also remember that consistency really counts. There is an actual 3-7-27 rule of branding. And what that states is that it takes 3 contacts for someone to remember your name, 7 to put your name with your business, right? So attaching the name to the business, and then 27 times to become a top of mind brand name. So realize that consistency is super important. So you want to make sure that this brand is you. Make sure it's everywhere you are. So at the end of the day, look, I can't build the brand for you, but what I'm hoping is that this first episode on branding, and we will have many others because we're going to be having interviews with people who really built brands and how they did it and go more in depth. But these initial episodes that I'm doing, I really want to just touch on these important topics and these important marketing strategies so that you could get your blood flowing and at least start to think about what you're going to do to build these different marketing techniques and kind of personalize them for yourselves. So think about all these things. And guys, reach out to me on Instagram, Real Estate Singh, and message me and ask me. And I'm happy to kind of respond back to you, and we could throw back some ideas. I'm happy to work with you on this. It's just, I think it's such a important thing that we use a personal brand. And I was watching Jared James the other day, and I think I mentioned this in the intro episode, and he said that we need to start marketing ourselves and not the property. The property, we have the MLS, we have the external websites, we have a lot of resources to market a property, but we are not marketing ourselves. And again, when people use us, they're using us because of who we are, our personality. And that is what we need to use to build a proper brand. That's it for this episode. It's a short episode, but that's it for this one. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Again, please follow the podcast. Make sure you share the episodes with your friends. And remember, don't be a basic biscuit.